that's what we're gonna do. I made up my mind. Something has to get done, and I'm going to just do it. So, here we go. Hey, what's up? Back out here in the shop, hammering on this thing. We are getting down to the wire. Today, for me, is December 1st. So that means I have 25 days till Christmas. My goal was to have this thing running and driving, roadworthy, maybe not completely finished. I'm kind of leaning towards the maybe not quite so completely finished right now because I only got 25 days left. I don't know why I do this to myself, but if I didn't set these crazy deadlines, sometimes it wouldn't force me to stick at it. So here we are, 25 days to go. Biggest thing that I have to get done. There's two things that I've been putting off since I really got deep into this project. Number one is the floors. I do not consider myself a sheet metal guy. Not hardly in the least. So, I'm not a bodywork guy. But we got to get some floors put in this thing. Number two is this windshield frame. So, talked about it in the past. The top section isn't super bad. There's some spots that are kind of rough, need cleaned up, but in all reality, could probably slap a coat of paint on that and get the windshield installed. However, the bottom part is not so good. The whole inside channel rusted out. I got it sandblasted up to see exactly how bad it was, and it did not disappoint on the badness. So I've really been dragging my feet on this, hoping and praying that I could find a decent used one, or maybe one that somebody had already rebuilt or something, but it's not in the cards. I think I'm going to be forced to do something with that. I don't even know where to begin because it's all stamped and folded over, and I guess just start welding stuff in. I don't know. I'm at a loss for that. So if any of you guys got any tips, please put those in the comments, because that one I am dragging my feet hard on. But I can do floors. I can get by on floors. I've done them before. Just not my favorite thing to do. However, I did borrow from a friend a sheet metal brake and a shear that you can cut. So I'm hoping that that will make this go better. What I'm thinking is building some sort of structure. This is all pretty solid. I gotta build something to come along each side of the transmission and support it up to the firewall here, and then I'll just build a tunnel to go over the transmission where it comes up out of the floor. So thinking probably flat, kind of how it was, flat to back to here, and then angle up to the firewall. These were boxed in. Let's see here. Need some light. This was boxed in here, but it was all rusted out and full of crap. So I ended up cutting it out, and so I've got to rebuild something here, I guess. Maybe. I don't know if I do or don't have to. Probably would be best to put something in here to keep the dirt and stuff coming from up here and getting into there again. So you gotta do that, and then this side was rotted out back over to the back, so we've got to build a template to repair that piece and that. So anyways, that's where we're at with the floors. So trying to get a game plan together on where to start. Probably ought to start with that size down there on the kick panel and get it to where we have an even playing field, I guess. I don't know. We'll get at it. Alright, so what I'm going to start off doing, I'm going to reach up here, grab some board. I had to go buy me, sorry, that was a little wild. I had to go buy me some poster board because I didn't have any pieces big enough to do these floor sections. So, got some board, got my shears. I found my big shears. They were in the bottom of the kids' craft drawer in the house. We were doing some crafts and I got digging through there and found them. These things, I found these at a yard sale. I was so stoked when I found them because my grandpa has a couple sets of these, and they cut super good. So when I found these at a yard sale, I was stoked to find them. So I was kind of sad when I lost them. I had to have that set and then this smaller set that I use. So I had the small set, but I could never figure out where my big set went. Alright, so we got that. Now, I guess we'll get to making a cardboard template. Got our piece welded in there, so so we can buff that weld down. That'll be done. Next step is to build a template to box in that corner again. Alright, so I found another scrap piece of sheet metal that we're going to build this one out of. And I've got my instructions here. I figured I need to add an inch from that line out. So I'm just gonna, probably should wipe that off first. Alright. And it doesn't have to be exactly 1 inch just to get me over that glue. Or I have some of this to weld the fresh metal. Like that. Now we'll go snip it out. Easy as that. Now we'll see how bad we mess it up. Oh. Let's see here. I need to bend my tab here up a little bit more, and then it should go in. Alright, so I'm going to tack this along there, and then I can pry the bottom of that in where it needs to be and weld that, and we'll be good to go. Alright, we got that one welded in. Actually turned out kind of better than I thought it would. So, happy to have that done. I'm going to get this other side knocked out, and then we'll pick you guys back up when we start on the floorboards. Alright, we got that side welded in. This side welded in. So, those were my big hang up areas on the floor. Just had to just buckle down and do it. So anyways, next up is, I've got to get rubbers to put between the cab and the frame. So I cut some took the hole saw and cut some sidewall out of a tire. Can anybody guess what kind of tire we're using for cab mount, cab isolators, rubber isolators for the cab mounts? I don't know. Go ahead, throw it in the comments if you can guess. Anyways, so I cut those out with the hole saw, but I've got to open up the holes in the middle to put the bolts through. So got to do that. Then I'll lift the cab up a little bit, slide those in, drop the cab bolts back through. Then we can finally bolt the cab down for good. And then once that's bolted down, then we know exactly where our floor heights need to be. So I'm gonna get those isolators put in, and then it'll probably be time for me to go run some other errands and do some other stuff. So we'll probably pick you back up on the other side of that when we actually get started on the floors. So we'll see you then. We're back. We are back, and I've got a surprise. So I did some looking, some pondering, some scheming. We got the lower corners of the cab fixed up that you guys saw. And then I went and found the stock floor pans, which are actually in really good shape. The worst part was the corners and kind of the channel that these sat in. But as far as metal goes, these floor pans are still relatively good. So plan is, I took a little, sorry, I'll try to hold a little more still. I took the liberty of cutting a little bit of this one out in order to try to see just kind of how it would fit over the transmission. Show you what that looks like. Still not 100% fit, but definitely sits in there pretty good. So I'm gonna have to cut this middle section out. But what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna weld these floor pans where they used to be removable. I think I'm gonna weld them in, and then because there's really, with the updating that I've done in here, I don't feel like there's really any real reason to have the floor pans come out anymore. So I'm gonna weld these in where they fit, and then I'll just have to do a little bit of modification, tying just transmission tunnel in. But they fit pretty good. Once this is gone, it'll fit really good. And then this piece, I just have to cut this front portion out right here. It'll sit right in, and then I can weld it in also. So that's my plan. I think, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said before, I really don't like doing this. So I was trying to do this and make it the easy way, but then I've got to fill a hole in the middle, fill another hole over there. I still have to build a trans tunnel. I still have to patch all these open holes. I don't know. I feel like it would be easier to do it this way, just because I don't have a bead roller to give the new pans any sort of texture or rigidity. But I'm still gonna have to do a lot of patching and welding and filling and all that. So there's no easy way about this, but I think that utilizing what I have is going to be the best route, and then I'll just have to patch where I have to patch. So I think we want that side forward, because that side, that's cut out for the emergency brake. I think that cutout there is for the emergency brake handle, which I would like to put back in functioning. So let's see here. I think what we want to do first is cut this piece so that we can get these set in and tacked. We'll cut this out to clear the transmission, and then we can weld this piece to this floor piece here to this floor piece and make it fit. That's what we're gonna do. I made up my mind. Something has to get done, and I'm going to just do it. So here we go. So I just got done cutting that floor pan. Went to look for my drill to drill these spot welds out. And over here on my bench is this piece of steel wool that has decided to generate some heat. Keep your eyes out. Now I'm all nervous. All right, let's find that drill. Let's get some light on this subject here. So, let's see. This is the driver's side. So it's gonna go under the accelerator. Somewhere like in that. So get the welder out, and we can do a little tack there, little tack down there to hold it up in here, and get the other side in, and then we can weld that floor to this floor. All right, so we got these front portions tacked in, and then I got this trimmed to where it'll fit and tacked in. So we've got a strip to fill behind there. These corners, I still have the lid for this, so we might just put the lid back on that. And then a trans tunnel, something around the column and pedal, something over there. Holes in the floor. Lots to do still, but we're making progress. Gonna keep going on these floors. So, plan tonight, I don't have a whole lot of time, just trying to get stuff done whenever I have time, so that I can keep progress, because I would really like to get this done for Christmas. So what I'm going to do tonight, my goal is to build cardboard templates for the pieces that I need to fill in these gaps and the stuff up, that stuff up there in the firewall. So that's the plan. If I get those done, I'll be happy. Maybe start on transmission. Maybe start on transmission hump. But like I said, I just got to keep moving and keep going if I'm going to try to really get this thing done for Christmas. So 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Probably not the best as far as videos for you guys, because it's just a little bit broken up into chunks, but I'll try to keep stuff flowing the best I can. So just understand that that's why things are, and if I get out here and don't get something recorded, I'll try to keep you up on that. But I would like to show you guys the whole process. So that's what we're gonna do. Get started on these templates for that. Get this stuff where it needs to be, and keep working on it. First step, I guess, what I need to do, I don't know. I don't know what first step is. I'd like to build this piece that comes along here and turns into that straight right there in one piece. and then just have the strip that goes straight over. And then, so kind of do like a piece here, a strip, the piece over there. I think that'd go together pretty good with minimal seams. And then this floor piece here. So I'm just gonna start. I gotta figure out everything's just a little bit tweaked here and there, so when I go back to weld it in, I'm gonna have to make it all work. I'm gonna tack this edge down right here quick so it'll hold that down a little better. Alright, so I got this template made. I started on the driver's side and got it cut out to fit, brought it over the passenger side, and other than just a couple small spots that I'm going to trim, once I get the pieces cut out, this thing is going to work for both sides. So that's pretty cool. Got lucky on that. So yeah, I just need to trim just a little bit out of this corner. It's cut just a little bit different there, but other than that, it'll drop right in there, weld in, be perfect. So now really, I just need to measure the width of that and a length, and then do a strip for that, and then I'll just do a little square to weld in there. So that was easier than expected. piece cut out. I'm just gonna do a little looky. See how we did? Ooh-wee. We just need to put a little kink in there, and I think that'll shrink it down to just barely sit right inside those curves where we can weld it in flush. So let's take this over here. Right? Doesn't need much. Just a little, about like that. Ooh, I got a little much. I don't know. It's good in some spots and not in others, so you might have to kind of tack it and hammer it to fit perfect, but I think that'll work. Good morning. All right, I'm in the shop again. Sorry if I look like I'm tired, zombie guy, but woke up early, came out, cleaned the shop up a little bit so we can move around a little easier and get some work done a little easier. And I'm gonna make a list of all the things that I've got to get done. And for me, 15 days. Okay, we got 15 days to get this thing tossed together. So when you say it like that, it's a lot when most of it's going to be nights and weekends, and that's only 2 weekends. But I think we can get it done. I think we can at least get it running and driving. Maybe not finished, but running and driving. So, okay. So this is what we got to do. We've got 15 days to do it, and it's a lot to do, but get a few things done a day, and hopefully check things off the list. Bleed the brakes, finish transmission tunnel, finish the floor around the steering column, paint the floor, then we can install sound deadener in the whole cab. Battery mount, steering column, just need to finish tightening up the steering wheel and putting the shift indicator on. Shift linkage. Fuel pump, fenders. We got to trim the inner fenders around the upper A-arms. We got to repair the bed mounts on the bed, repair the tailgate, put a fuel door in it, tail lights, headlights, steps under the cab, grill belting. I separated the wiring into just basic areas. So we got dash wiring, rear wiring, front wiring, engine wiring, mount the ECM. I got to finish the drive line, exhaust, alignment, radiator hoses, a coolant, engine oil, transmission oil, trans cooler. Go through the list, you always remember stuff. Transmission cooler, windshield frame, glass, doors. We got to paint the insides of the doors and mount the seat. And that is not completely finished because she wants other things like air conditioning and a radio and all that stuff, but that's not happening right now. but it will happen. This is the stuff we got to get for Christmas. So, we get a couple things done a day, knock it out, check them off. We have what we need to do now. So, let's get to work. Enough talking. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep going on the floor pans, transmission tunnel, that stuff. We're gonna get that knocked out so I can get it painted, and then get the sound deadener in here so that we don't have to try to fit that stuff under wiring once we get wiring and everything secured in here. So that's what I'm gonna start doing, and gotta get to it.